The massive doors of the Galactic Council chamber slid open with a soft hiss. Ambassador Kim Da-ho took a deep breath before stepping inside. This was his first time representing Earth at the Council, and his heart pounded in his chest. The chamber was huge. A giant round table sat in the middle. Around it were 37 seats for the 37 spacefaring species in the galaxy. Most of the seats were filled already. Strange creatures of all shapes and sizes talked among themselves. Some had scales, others had fur. Some had many eyes, others had none at all. Kim walked to his seat at the very edge of the table. It was smaller than the others and had no voting panel. Earth was new here. Humans had only discovered faster-than-light travel 5 years ago. They were just observers for now. Try not to speak unless spoken to, his boss had told him. We're there to learn, not to make waves. The head of the council, a tall blue-skinned Arclean named HFY, stood up. His 4 eyes blinked one after another as he called the meeting to order. The Centennial Negotiation Summit of the Galactic Council is now in session, HFY announced. His voice was deep and echoed through the chamber. Today we will discuss resource allocation in the Orion Arm. Kim listened carefully. The Orion Arm was the spiral arm of the galaxy where Earth was located. This mattered to humans. A hologram appeared above the table. It showed star systems and planets. Kim spotted Earth's solar system and the 3 star systems where humans had started to build colonies. HFY pointed at different areas. The Arclean Empire will take these 12 systems for mining. The Voran Collective will get these 8 for their new outposts. A purple-skinned Voran with tentacles for arms nodded. This is acceptable to us. Kim watched in shock as they divided up star systems, including some where human colony ships were already headed. They were splitting up human territory, as if Earth didn't exist. He looked around the table. Nobody seemed concerned about this. They were ignoring humanity completely. Kim thought about his instructions. Don't make waves. Just observe. But they were taking Earth's future without even asking. His hand shook as he pressed the button to request to speak. A small light blinked in front of HFY. The chamber went quiet. All eyes, from normal to compound to sensory stalks, turned to look at Kim. The observer wishes to speak, HFY said. His tone made it clear how unusual this was. Kim stood up. His mouth was dry. Thank you, Council Leader. I noticed that some of the systems being allocated are ones where Earth has already sent colony ships. The system you call XT-397 is our Alpha Centauri, and we have a settlement of 800 humans there already. Silence filled the room. Then whispering. Some delegates looked annoyed. Others seemed amused. HFY's upper lip curled back, showing sharp teeth. Observer Kim, the Council appreciates your enthusiasm. However, observer species do not participate in resource allocation discussions. A Voran delegate added, your species' primitive attempts at colonization are noted but not relevant to Council decisions. But these are our people, Kim said. These are territories we've already. Observer species do not speak unless asked a direct question, HFY interrupted. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence. This is your first and only warning. Kim slowly sat down. His face felt hot with anger and embarrassment. The meeting continued as if he hadn't spoken. They divided up the star systems that humans thought of as their new frontier. They discussed Earth's solar system as a protected development zone that would be managed by Arclean oversight. Kim took careful notes. Earth needed to know what was happening. The Council didn't see humans as equals. They saw them as children to be controlled, or worse, as resources to be managed. As the meeting ended, Kim caught the eye of a small, green-skinned delegate who nodded slightly at him. At least someone seemed to understand. But understanding wasn't enough. Earth needed to prepare, because the galaxy wasn't the friendly place humans had hoped for. It was a table of predators, and humanity had just been served notice. Ambassador Kim Da-ho sat in the large meeting room at the United Nations building in New York. His report had made the room go quiet. Secretary General Park, Ji-woo, looked pale as she read through his notes. They're treating our colonies like they don't matter. Park asked, her voice tight with anger. Yes, Kim said. To them, we're just children who don't get a vote. General Lee Sun-min of the Earth Defense Force stood by the window. His face was hard as stone. How advanced is their technology? Far beyond ours, Kim admitted. Their ships are faster. Their weapons are stronger. The Arcleans alone could probably defeat our entire fleet. The room fell silent again. 20 of Earth's top leaders looked at each other with worry. We can't just give up, said Lieutenant Yoon Hae-yun. She was young, only 30, but already known for her brilliant mind. We need to know more about them, about their weaknesses. General Lee nodded. Lieutenant Yoon has a point, and I have some information to share. He pressed a button, and a screen showed pictures of alien ships. These Arclean vessels have been following our colony ships, watching us, studying us. Why keep us at observer status if they're not worried about us? Lieutenant Yoon asked. I think they're deciding what to do with us, Kim said. Whether to let us grow or to stop us now. Secretary Park stood up. We need time. We'll continue diplomatic efforts, but we also need to prepare for the worst. As they talked about next steps, an aide rushed in. Madam Secretary, an alien ship has entered Earth's atmosphere. Alarms blared. Security teams rushed to protect the leaders. General Lee barked orders into his communicator. Wait, said the aide. They're sending a message. They say they're friendly. A trading ship called the Stardust. On the screen appeared the face of an Asian man in his 40s. He wore a captain's uniform, but it looked worn and patched. This is Captain Ro Jun-ho of the independent vessel Stardust, he said. I need to speak with Earth's leaders immediately. I am Secretary General Park. Why have you come to Earth, Captain Ro? I'm human, Madam Secretary. Born on Earth. My crew and I have been trading in the outer systems for years. We've learned the languages, the customs. We've made friends. His face grew serious, and some of those friends have warned me. Several council members have made a secret agreement. What kind of agreement? General Lee asked. They plan to restrict Earth's development. By force, if necessary. Captain Ro's eyes were grim. They fear how quickly humans are spreading, how fast we learn, how adaptable we are. When? Lieutenant Yoon asked. Soon, a few months, maybe less. They'll present it as a peacekeeping mission. Protection for a developing species. Captain Ro shook his head. But it will be the end of human independence. Secretary Park turned to General Lee. How ready are our defenses? Not ready enough, he said. Not for what's coming. My ship has information that might help, Captain Ro offered. Star charts, trade routes, weaknesses in their systems. Secretary Park nodded. Captain Ro, welcome home. We need everything you know. As the meeting continued deep into the night, plans began to form. Earth would not surrender easily. Humans would not accept being controlled. They think we're primitive, Lieutenant Yoon said. That's our advantage. They won't expect us to fight back. Kim thought about the Galactic Council, sitting around their table, deciding Earth's fate without asking, making plans for a species they saw as weak and unimportant. They have no idea what humans are capable of when threatened, he said. And for the first time that day, several people in the room smiled. Chief Engineer Choi Min-ho wiped sweat from his forehead as he worked inside the engine room of the cargo ship. Outside, the ship looked normal. Inside, it was becoming a weapon. Hand me that blue wire, he said to his team member. The woman passed it to him, and he connected it to the new shield generator. This technology wasn't supposed to exist yet. Earth wasn't supposed to have shields like the advanced species did. But humans were good at learning quickly. Will it work? The team member asked. It has to, Choi said simply. This was the 12th ship his team had changed this week. The work never stopped. They had maybe 5 months before the Council made its move against Earth. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Deep under the red soil of Mars, Dr. Kang Soo-jin looked through a microscope at a small piece of metal. It was from an Arclean ship that had crashed on Titan 3 years ago. The metal changes shape when hit with this frequency, she told her team. It becomes weaker. Dr. Kang had been studying alien technology for years. Now her work might save humanity. She had found a weakness in Arclean ship design. Their strong metal hulls became soft when hit with a certain kind of energy beam. "Can we build a weapon that uses this?" asked one of her team. "We already have," she said with a small smile. "Now we need to make hundreds more." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Captain Ro Junho's ship, the Stardust, traveled between the stars, but it wasn't alone anymore. 20 Earth ships followed it, hidden by new technology. They were setting up supply points far from the watchful eyes of the Council. "The trading post at Proxima Centauri will give us fuel and parts," Captain Ro told his crew. "The owner owes me a favor." The crew nodded. They were a mix of humans and a few friendly aliens who had joined Ro over the years. All of them knew what was at stake. "The Council won't expect us to have friends out here," Ro said. "That's their mistake." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In the Galactic Council chamber, Ambassador Kim sat quietly. He looked just as nervous as before, but his eyes missed nothing. Every conversation, every agreement, every detail about ship movements, he remembered it all to report back to Earth. "The human seems to have learned his place," one Arclean said to another as they passed Kim's seat. Kim lowered his head respectfully. Inside, he was memorizing their ship schedules. After the meeting, Kim attended a reception. He stood alone, sipping a drink, looking uncomfortable. This made the other species ignore him, which was exactly what he wanted. 2 Voran delegates stood nearby, their tentacles moving in excitement as they spoke. "The containment fleet is nearly ready," one said quietly. "The humans will be dealt with in 3 months." "So soon," said the other. "I thought we had decided on 6 months. The High Command believes we should act now, before they develop further." Kim kept his face calm as his heart raced. 3 months, not 6. Earth needed to know. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Secretary General Park sat in the war room beneath the UN building. Reports came in from around the world, from Mars, from the outer colonies. Chief Engineer Choi has upgraded 67 ships with shield technology, reported General Lee. Dr. Kang has produced 112 anti-Arclean weapons, added Lieutenant Yoon. And Captain Ro has established 15 supply points outside our solar system, said another officer. Secretary Park nodded. And Ambassador Kim? His latest message says we only have 3 months, not 6. The room went quiet. "Then we work faster," Park said firmly. "Humanity has faced threats before. We've survived ice ages, plagues, world wars. We will survive this too." She looked at each face around the table. "The Council thinks we're weak because we're new to space. They think we'll surrender without a fight." She stood up. "Let's show them how wrong they are." Around Earth and throughout the solar system, humans worked day and night, preparing in silence for the fight that was coming. The clock was ticking down. The Galactic Council chamber was filled with tension. Every seat was taken, and today, all eyes were on the human section. Ambassador Kim Dae-ho sat straight in his chair, his face calm. Councillor Tesfer of the Arcleans stood at the center. His blue skin seemed darker today, a sign of strong emotion in his species. "We have called this emergency session to address the human question," Tesfor announced. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "After much discussion, the Council has reached a decision regarding Earth." The room went completely silent. Kim could hear his own heart beating. Tesfor turned to face Kim directly. "Ambassador Kim, please deliver this message to your leaders. Earth has grown too quickly. Your species expands too aggressively. You build weapons. You send ships everywhere. This presents a danger to galactic peace. A large screen showed images of Earth's colonies and ships. Therefore, the Council requires Earth to surrender all faster-than-light technology. All military vessels must be dismantled, and Earth must accept protective oversight by Council forces. There it was, the trap that Captain Rowe had warned about. This is for your own safety and the safety of the galaxy, Tesfor continued. You have 48 hours to comply. Kim stood up slowly. I will deliver your message to Earth. His voice gave away nothing of what he was thinking. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Back on Earth, an emergency meeting was underway. Leaders from every nation had gathered. Colony representatives joined by video link. Military commanders sat with grim faces. They want us to give up everything, Secretary General Park told the room after hearing the Council's demands. Our ships, our technology, our freedom. If we refuse, asked a colony leader from Alpha Centauri. General Lee answered, they will attack. They have ships waiting at the edge of our solar system already. And if we agree, asked another leader, they will still take everything. Lieutenant Hume said, they will just do it slowly while we watch. The room erupted in angry voices. Some wanted to fight. Others feared the alien technology was too advanced. Secretary Park raised her hand for silence. I have heard from our military leaders, from Chief Engineer Choi and Dr. Kang, from Captain Rowe. We are not as helpless as the Council believes. She walked to the center of the room. Humanity did not come this far to surrender its future. We did not reach the stars only to be caged. The room fell silent. We will not give up our freedom, Park said. Not today. Not ever. One by one, the world leaders stood up. They had made their decision. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The Galactic Council was in full session again. All 37 species were present to hear Earth's answer. Ambassador Kim walked to the center of the room. He carried a small silver box. Earth has considered the Council's demands, he said. The chamber was completely still. Even the Voron's tentacles had stopped moving. Kim placed the silver box on the table. He pressed a button on top of it. A hologram appeared above the box, showing a single word in large letters. No. Gasps and angry shouts filled the chamber. Tesfer's skin turned almost black with rage. This is tantamount to a declaration of war, he shouted. Kim looked at each council member, his eyes no longer those of a nervous observer. We know, he said calmly. He turned and walked toward the exit. At the door, he stopped and looked back at the shocked faces of the council. We've been preparing since you first planned this treachery, he said. You thought we didn't know. You thought we were blind. Primitive. His voice grew stronger. You were wrong. The doors closed behind him as the council erupted into chaos. On ships hidden throughout the galaxy, human crews received the signal they had been waiting for. The time for hiding was over. The time for action had come. Earth had given its answer. Now the galaxy would see what humans could really do. The Arclean commander stood on the bridge of his massive warship. His 4 eyes looked at the star map showing Earth's solar system. The humans are foolish, he told his officers. We will wait for them to realize their mistake. Then they will beg for mercy. One of his officers pointed at a screen. Sir, we have strange readings from the Ta City system. Ignore it, the commander said. Focus on Earth. They will wait for us to attack first. That is what primitive species always do. But humans were not like other species the Council had dealt with before. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Lieutenant Yoon Hae-yun sat in the captain's chair of the Earth ship Silent Thunder. The ship looked small and weak from the outside. Inside, it carried Dr. Kang's new weapons. All ships report ready, her second-in-command said. Yoon nodded. Begin Operation First Move. 20 Earth ships appeared near the massive Arclean defense station in the Ta City system. They had been hiding, using technology that Chief Engineer Choi had developed based on Captain Rowe's information. They're scrambling fighters, someone called out. Too late, Yoon said calmly. The Earth ships fired their weapons. Blue beams hit the Arclean ships and stations. The special frequency Dr. Kang had discovered made the alien metal turn soft like butter. The mighty Arclean defense network began to collapse. "Main station is disabled," reported an officer. "Enemy ships are losing power." Yoon allowed herself a small smile. "Send the signal to all teams. We have success here." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Across the galaxy, similar attacks happened at the same time. Earth ships that looked like simple trading vessels suddenly revealed hidden weapons. They struck key Council military bases and communication centers. On a Council military station, alarms blared as systems failed. The commander couldn't believe what was happening. "How did they get past our defenses?" he shouted. "They're just humans." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In his ship Stardust, Captain Ro Junho led a fleet of converted cargo ships to a major fuel depot used by the Council's military. His years as a trader had taught him every weakness in the Council's supply chain. "Target their fuel cells," he ordered. "No need to destroy them. Just disable them." The human ships fired with perfect aim. The depot's systems went dark. Without this fuel, hundreds of Council warships would be stranded. "Move to the next target," Ro said. "We have 5 more stops today." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. On Earth, General Lee Sunmin stood in the command center. Screens showed battles happening across dozens of star systems. Not all were going well, but enough were succeeding. "The Council is in chaos," an officer reported. "They didn't expect us to strike first. And they certainly didn't expect us to hit so many targets at once." Lee nodded. "Humans have always been good at surprising those who underestimate us." Secretary Park entered the room. "How bad are our losses?" 7 ships destroyed. 12 damaged. About 100 lives lost," Lee said grimly. "But we've crippled their ability to launch a full attack against Earth." Park closed her eyes briefly for the lost lives. Then she straightened her shoulders. "We're not trying to defeat them completely. That would be impossible. We just need to show them that attacking Earth would cost too much," Lee finished. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. In the Galactic Council chamber, confusion and anger ruled. Reports of attacks came in from everywhere. Species that had nothing to do with the planned attack on Earth looked at the Arcleans and Vorans with suspicion. "How could this happen?" Tesfor demanded. "They're primitives. Observers." A delegate from a smaller species spoke up. "Perhaps we should reconsider how we judge other species. The humans have proven they are not what we thought." Across the galaxy, news spread quickly. The newest species had done the unthinkable. They had struck first, and they had struck well. The humans had left the table, but they had not gone quietly. And now the galaxy watched in terror, wondering what they would do next. 1 week after the human attacks, Ambassador Kim Daho sat in a small room on a neutral space station. He was no longer dressed as an observer. Today he wore the full uniform of an Earth ambassador, with the planet's symbol on his chest. The door opened, and 2 aliens entered. One was tall with golden scales, a Xandari. The other had 4 arms and silver eyes, a Talaxian. Both represented species that were part of the Council, but not leaders. "Ambassador Kim," the Xandari said, "I am Delegate Krell. This is unusual, meeting like this." Kim nodded. "These are unusual times." "The Council is in chaos," said the Talaxian. "Half the members are demanding war against Earth. The other half are asking questions about why the Arcleans and Vorans planned to attack you in the first place." Kim placed a small device on the table. It showed images of secret council meetings and private agreements between the Arcleans and Vorans. "These are the plans they made to control Earth," Kim said. "We didn't start this conflict. We just refused to be their victims." The 2 aliens studied the evidence. Their faces showed surprise, then understanding. "The Arcleans and Vorans have dominated the Council for too long," Krell said finally. "Many of us have wanted change. Earth could be a powerful ally," Kim suggested. "We don't want to rule the galaxy. We just want our place in it. The Talaxian looked at Krell, then back at Kim. We will bring this evidence to others. There may be more species willing to stand with Earth than you think. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Captain Rose's ship Stardust landed on the trading world of Nexus Prime. This planet was not part of the Council. It was neutral, a place where all species came to trade. Ro walked into a busy bar filled with beings from dozens of worlds. He had come here for years as a trader. These aliens knew him. "My friends," he called out, "I bring news from Earth." The room quieted. Everyone had heard about the human attacks. "You've only heard the Council's side of the story," Ro said. "Let me tell you ours." He showed them the Council's ultimatum, the demand that Earth give up its freedom, the plans to control human worlds. "We didn't attack first," Ro told them. "We defended ourselves before they could strike. Wouldn't your species do the same?" The aliens talked among themselves. Many nodded. They understood fighting against those who would take their freedom. "Spread the word," Ro said. "Humans aren't the aggressors. We're just the first to stand up to the Council's bullies." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. On Earth, Dr. Kang Soo-jin worked in her lab with 3 Xendari scientists. After the secret meeting, Krell had sent them to help Earth. "Your shield technology is impressive," one Xendari said, "but it won't hold against a full Council attack." "That's why we need your help," Kang replied. "We have courage, but we need better defenses." The Xendari showed her a design on a screen. "This could protect your home planets. Not perfect, but better than what you have." Kang studied it with wide eyes. "This would take us decades to develop on our own." "That's what allies are for," the Xendari said, "to help each other grow." Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Secretary General Park sat with her advisors. Reports came in from across the galaxy. Some were worrying. Council forces regrouping. Others were hopeful. More species reaching out to Earth. "Public opinion is shifting," and 8 reported. "Captain Rose's efforts are working. Many neutral worlds now see our side." "And the Alliance talks?" Park asked. "The Xendari and Talaxians are officially supporting us. 3 other species are considering it." General Lee looked at the star map. "It won't be enough if the Council launches a full attack." "We don't need to win a long war," Park reminded him. "We just need to change the conversation." She pointed to a neutral system on the map. "Send a message to all Council species. In 3 days, Earth will call for a new galactic summit at this location." "What if they refuse to come?" someone asked. Park smiled slightly. "After what we've shown we can do, they'll come. They're too curious not to." The galaxy was watching Earth with new eyes now. Not with terror, but with interest. Maybe even respect. The neutral space station was larger than the Galactic Council chamber. It had to be. More species were here today. In the center was a round table, just like the one at the Council. But this table had no small seat at the edge. All seats were the same size. Secretary General Park entered with General Lee, Lieutenant Yoon, Dr. Kang, and Chief Engineer Choi. Captain Rose stood near the door, watching everyone who came in. Ambassador Kim waited at the human seat. The Arclean and Voran delegates arrived last. Tesfer's blue skin was pale with anger when he saw humans sitting at the main table. "This meeting has no official standing," Tesfer declared. "The Council does not recognize it." "Yet you came anyway," Secretary Park said calmly, "as did representatives from all 37 spacefaring species." It was true. Every Council member was there. So were leaders from 12 neutral worlds that had never joined the Council. 3 weeks ago, you gave Earth an ultimatum," Park continued. "You expected us to surrender or be destroyed. Instead, you learned that humans are not what you thought we were." She looked around the table. "We could continue fighting, but that would cost many lives on all sides. So today, we offer another way forward." Ambassador Kim placed a document on the table. The title glowed on screens in front of each delegate. Humanity's terms for peaceful coexistence. You dare to offer terms? A Voran shouted, tentacles waving. You are one planet against an entire galactic power. A galactic power that couldn't stop our attacks, General Lee pointed out. A galactic power now divided because of secrets and lies. Krell of the Xendari stood up. The Xendari Alliance supports Earth's right to present terms. Many council members were never consulted about the plan to subjugate humans. Other delegates nodded in agreement. The council was indeed divided. What are these terms? Asked a small green delegate who had once nodded to Kim in the council chamber. Kim touched the document, and 3 points appeared on all screens. 1. Earth and all human colonies will be recognized as sovereign territory. 2. No species may interfere in human development or expansion. 3. Humans will have full voting rights in all galactic matters that affect them. These are not demands for power, Kim explained, just for equality. Tesfor's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. And if we refuse? Lieutenant Yum answered, then we continue what we started. Your supply chains remain vulnerable. Your defense networks have weaknesses we can exploit. It would be costly for us, but devastating for you. The room was silent as the delegates considered this. There is a 4th term, Secretary Park said. The Galactic Council must be reformed. No more secret deals. No more powerful species controlling weaker ones. Every voice must be heard. Now even more delegates were nodding. Many had suffered under Arclean and Voran dominance for centuries. This isn't just about humans, Dr. Kang added. It's about building a better galaxy for all species. Discussions continued for hours. Some points were changed. New ideas were added. The Arcleans and Vorans fought against every change, but they were increasingly alone. By the end of the day, a new agreement was taking shape, not just for Earth, but for a new kind of galactic charter that would protect the rights of all species. As Ambassador Kim signed his name to the draft agreement, he thought about his first day in the council chamber. How small and powerless he had felt. How dismissed and ignored. The galaxy watched in terror as humans left the table, he said quietly. But now we return on our own terms. And this time, everyone was listening.